director of 3 orchestras in Canada, the CBC Winnipeg Orchestra, the Hamilton Philharmonic, and an orchestra in Nova Scotia, Symphony Nova Scotia. And during that whole experience, I found that in auditions, largely Canadians didn't get the jobs. And if they did get the jobs, they didn't stay. That is to say, in the tenure granting process, they didn't make it. And I wondered why that was. And I thought that certainly has something to do with training and experience. And then the actual occasion was that we were asked to do a concert by the National Capital Commission in Ottawa in August. And I thought, well, I'll pick up whatever extra players I need from the National Arts Centre Orchestra. But they were on holiday and away on a vacation, so all of a sudden there were no players to be had. And so my father was running a program for string players called Les Jeunes Virtuoses in Montreal. And so I invited Les Jeunes Virtuoses to work on the pieces separately and join the winds and brass of the National Arts Centre Orchestra, as well as some strings which we had, in a kind of mentor-apprentice type approach. And it worked so marvelously well. We ended up not giving the concert at all because it was rained out, but the rehearsal itself was quite miraculous. And I thought, well, that's the way to train people.
The mentor program with NAO is particularly unique because this is something that really, as far as I'm aware of, no other program really has this kind of approach. Essentially, we're being teamed up with professionals in the business already, in major orchestras, principal players, and all the rest of it. They will perform alongside with us as need be in the concert. But at the same time, they are there with us in the section, guiding us, coaching us, making suggestions, which is really a very, very useful tool within the context of a rehearsal. You can just on the fly, they will be able to pick things up that you're doing, not doing.
I've never worked with a mentor here who was overbearing and walked in with the attitude of, I am better than you.
Mentor-apprentice approach has always been the best way for people to learn, regardless of what the field is, whether it's a trade or a profession. I mean, if you want to become a plumber, you first of all become an apprentice plumber and you hold the pipe wrench and you see how the copper is cut or how the PVC is fitted, and you experience on the job what really you need to do the job.
I had invited him to my graduation recital at McGill. I was very, very eager to get into this program because it just offers so much opportunity and so much repertoire. So I invited him, and he actually came to the rehearsal before the dress rehearsal unexpectedly.
I think one of the most fun things that I do and have done over the last 20 years is to work with people who come as my apprentice or my associate.
And from there we went for coffee and we spoke, and I subsequently went through the whole audition process and won.
Over the last 2 years, Martin McDonald, who came to us, I guess 3 years ago really, as my apprentice, was an individual who combined so many of the fabulous qualities that I wanted to see in a young conductor that I asked him to stay. And he has been with us now. This is his 3rd year in many ways, the end of his 3rd year, and he's just been appointed as resident conductor of Symphony Nova Scotia, which I founded. So it's kind of a coming full circle, if you will.
At my school, we played 4, maybe 5 concerts a year. Here at National Academy Orchestra, we're usually doing 2 programs a week, which is a lot of music, and that is fantastic.
2 programs a week of great music, and you get a paycheck for it. It was wonderful.
It's as close as I think any summer program can come to being like a professional environment. We're responsible for a lot of music. We have to be prepared. We don't have a lot of rehearsal time, and we really have to bring our own impetus to really learning the music and making it into something great.
There's a lot of repertoire, there's a lot of stuff we cover, stuff that we work a lot by ourselves on orchestral excerpts, and then putting them in context is unbelievable. So it helps in the preparation for auditions, and it helps when you get a call and you have to come last minute to play in an orchestra. Oh, I played that piece.
When I finished my master's, I really had 2 options. You come to the National Academy or try to find a doctorate program somewhere, or try to find some community orchestras or some piecework and putting things together. And when it's all said and done, the experiences here have just been more than I could have ever bargained for. I don't think I would have ever gotten this in a doctoral program. I would never have gotten this if I was on my own trying to piece together a career. This has really launched me forward much more than I could have ever expected. I mean, I've made friends of professional musicians from right across the country.
Well, for example, this afternoon we're joined by James Ennis, and he is a soloist of exceptional caliber, quality.
I'm ecstatic to be able to have the chance to play with James Ennis. I love his works. I've listened to so many of his recordings, and he's really an inspiration.
The opportunity to watch these people work is a rare one. And I think it's a real mark of the organization that these people, who do not have to say yes to whatever comes along, look at the offer and say, yes, this is something I want to be a part of. This is a valuable thing which I can offer.
So happy to be a part of it, and thank all of you for your support. It's incredibly important, and it's a wonderful organization. I hope I'll become involved again sometime soon. Thanks for coming.
This orchestra is auditioned annually from some 450 applicants, roughly coming from all over the world, who happen to be Canadians. And we have graduated, in quotations, over 1,000 young musicians into the profession.
Opportunity is what's the most difficult thing about our business, getting the opportunity to be seen to perform. So I really understood completely that a lot of these musicians come out of school and they don't have an opportunity to immediately become professionals and join an orchestra. So it's an odd transition because it's a transition from school into the profession. So something like this provides them with the opportunity to play, to be learning and growing.
They strive to do something special, and they're doing something that's maybe a little bit offbeat, not the mainstream. And they're raising money. To raise money for these kids is a special mission.
This public fundraising is vital because in many ways our government fundraising depends upon public fundraising. So every dollar that you raise privately, the government will see fit to match.
I just hope to get basically the experience of a lifetime.
When the actual practical aspect of getting up on the podium and conducting every single day, literally, has been the main launch of this.
There have been a number of people who have won jobs in various orchestras, and I'm going to name a few of them for you. Leif Mossbaugh, who is now principal oboe of the Saskatoon Symphony. Graham Lord, who is now principal clarinet of Orchestra London. Callum MacLeod, who is now principal bass of Sinfonia Toronto.
It's really nice to see that people are doing well in their new circumstances and that what we've given them in terms of their training, and they keep telling me that, I hope they're not just flattering me, is really vital to them, and that they've learned a lot and that they've made use of that learning, and that it was among the most useful things they did in their life was be at the National Academy Orchestra.